This week in the collection.
Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be having a closer look at all of the bottles of bourbon that I picked up in the month of July 2025. I picked up quite a bit of bottles, at least for me, and I'm going to share my thoughts on what I got with you all and hopefully get some of your thoughts on some of these. Some of them I've tried and some of them I haven't. So we'll talk about that in the video. And if you like this sort of content, like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out and helps us continue making these kind of videos. So without further delay, let's dive right into it. All right, our first bottle, we have Augusta Distillery Buckner Single Barrel Aged 15 years. Okay, this one is a limited release. My specific bottle is from barrel number 38, bottle number 36, and it's coming at 139.32 proof. All right, and this, I believe, bottled and aged in Bardstown, Kentucky, and bottled by Augusta Distillery in Augusta, Kentucky. Okay, so obviously this one isn't open, but I have had this before, which is what prompted me to buy it. I really did like this. It started off hot, maybe a little bit too hot, but when it mellows out, you get a lot of Dr. Pepper. So I really like that. They also have a 17-year aged version as well. I haven't tried that or even seen that out anywhere, but I know it does exist. It's at a lower proof. Some people seem to like that more, but it is more expensive, and this is also expensive. I think this has an MSRP over $350 when you take into account taxes and shipping and all that. So this is a pretty expensive bottle. Recommendations of this bottle: comparing this to other 15-year aged bourbons, like for example the Russell's Reserve, I think I would prefer that. However, that Russell Reserve's 15 I think is a lot harder to get than this, so you kind of have to weigh those options. If everything's equal and I'm paying MSRP, then I'm going with the Russell Reserve 15, no doubt, no question. That's a no-brainer. But like I said, hard to get, and if you're buying at secondary prices, that at secondary is probably more expensive than this, which I don't think really has a big secondary market. You can get this for MSRP, but it's a high MSRP. So that's my thought on this one. What do you guys think? Staying on track with Russell's Reserve, our next bottle is Russell Reserve's Single Rickhouse. My specific bottle is a limited release from 2023 Rickhouse collection from the Camp Nelson F, matured on floors 4 and 5. And let's see what else it says. A bourbon's aging environment can have as much impact on its character as raw ingredients. Aged and even the barrel, each limited single Rickhouse release is crafted from a small batch of hand-selected casks from a solitary storehouse, celebrating the unsung contributions of Rickhouse structure, elevation, and material on flavor profile. So, similar to the Augusta, this is a good bottle. I have tried this. It does come at a high price point. I think 300 plus MSRP. I don't know that this is super hot on the secondary market, so you're gonna probably pay around MSRP. But again, comparing this to Russell Reserve's 15, which is cheaper MSRP, and having all things equal, I definitely would prefer that. I have heard that there's a lot of variation on the exact year and camp that you get this from. So I have some buddies that have from, let me see, what is it? Camp Nelson B, and they loved it. And then they tried from this Camp Nelson F, and they didn't like it as much. So I haven't had as many samples or examples to give that opinion, but I'm just throwing it out there so that you're aware. Okay, and overall, I have it, and I'm gonna drink it, but I don't know if I'd go out of my way to try to get this like I would for the Russell Reserve's 15. So let me know what your opinions on this are in the comments. Next bottle, the Penelope Crème Brulee. So this is a bottle that came out this year. It started off, I'll say, moderately hot with an unbalanced supply and demand. And there was a little bit of buzz on the secondary market, but I don't think anything crazy. But there was definitely some buzz, unlike some other bottles that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. I was able to get this, and now I think this is a lot easier to get than when I got it, but still not going to walk into every store and get it, but it's out there. And you probably don't need to even mess with the secondary to get this, but you could. With all that being said, I have tried this, and I'm not in love with it, but I don't hate it either. To me, this is something that if I found this in a social setting and it's what was available, I would completely partake in this and try it and drink it. I'd have no problem with it. But if I'm in my home with my collection of bourbon and all the options I have available, this is probably one of the last things that I'm gonna pour myself a glass of. When I did try it, it reminded me a lot of their marshmallow toast that they had released a little while ago. So it's very similar to that. So if you like that, then you probably like this. If you didn't like that, then you probably won't like this. But again, nothing bad. Very consistent release from Penelope. So if you like Penelope, you'll probably like this. The next bottle is the Old Fitzgerald 7-year Bottled in Bond. All right, and let's read what it says. DSP KY1, bottled in bond under U.S. government supervision, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, wheated bourbon mash bill, coming at 100 proof. And let's see what it says here. You don't change a classic, you preserve it. Many things have changed since 1870, but good taste is always in style. In the beginning, Old Fitzgerald was served exclusively in private clubs and on steamships and rail lines. By mid-century, it became a mainstay of the bar and the first choice for entertaining. Today, the 7-year-old expression of Old Fitzgerald is your key to hospitality. Made under the exacting standards of the Bottled in Bond Act and with a whisper of wheat, a bourbon of this quality is worth sharing. So those are very nice words for sure. And let me see where it says. Distilled in the spring of 2018 and from the Old Fitzgerald Distillery. So again, I don't know about your area, but in my area, this bottle started out really hot. There was a major supply and demand imbalance, and I think there still is one. So there's definitely a lot of people that still want this that don't have it. So this does have a secondary market, but my understanding is, this is Old Fitzgerald's product line that's going to be a recurring release to provide more availability of Old Fitzgerald from their decanter bottle style product lines, which are more expensive and significantly harder to get. So this is something that I think you might want to wait on and not pay a lot in the secondary, similar to like the Eagle Rare 12. I don't know if you want to go crazy playing way over MSRP for this. Luckily, I had a friend who found this out at a store, and he texted me if I wanted one, and he got me one. That's how I was able to come get it. But I haven't personally seen this at any of my local stores, whether they're the mom and pop liquor store or big chain grocery / warehouse store. I haven't seen this at any of those yet. So again, it's hard to get. As far as the taste, I really like this, and if you liked Old Fitzgerald, you're gonna like this. I mean, it's that same, what you can expect from the decanter, but less age to it. So it was really good, and I think you're gonna enjoy this. So if you can get it and you can try it, I would say go for it. Okay, for me, this was my highlight pickup of the month. This is somewhat of a little bit of a controversial bottle, but we have the Weller Single Barrel. So again, I'm not making any qualms, and I'm being completely transparent. I'm a completionist, and I'm a completionist with everything that I collect, whether it's the bourbon, the comics, the action figures, the sports cards, it doesn't matter. I like to have a complete set. So obviously I've been trying to put together the complete set of the Weller Rainbow line, is what they call it. This is probably the hardest of those bottles to get, especially if you don't consider the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, William LaRue Weller as part of that line or not. If you don't, then this is for sure the hardest bottle to get, along with the CYPB. but I haven't had this one, so I finally was able to pick it up. I've never tried this or sampled it, so I don't know exactly what it tastes like, so I'm not gonna lie to you and give you a review of that. But I'll say that there's a little bit of controversy over this bottle. Some people get the hype and some people don't. I'll leave that up to you to decide. Let's read what it says. If it says anything, just the normal things, right? Weller, the original wheated bourbon, single barrel, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It comes at a 97 proof. Distilled, aged, and bottled by Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky. So again, no surprises here. As of right now, the only bottle from that line that I'm missing is the CYPB, but I did pick one up in August. But obviously this is a video for July. So when my August version of this video comes out, you'll see all about the CYPB, and I have tried that and I really do enjoy that. So this one, this is kind of like, for me, on the border of a price point where I won't just open this. I have to wait for a special occasion, but it won't be like a crazy special occasion. So a special occasion for this one could be like, you know, anyone's birthday and I'll open this. So it's not like a once in your lifetime special occasion where I open this. It's just any special occasion that's more than, hey, it's just Friday, right? So I foresee this being open pretty soon and I can't wait to try it. A classic, Weller Antique 107. This is a super popular bottle and I don't have any data to support that, but just in my opinion, in my observation, this is probably one of the most popular bottles of bourbon out there. I love this particular bottle and I love this juice. This is one of the things that got me into bourbon. This, along with Blanton's and Eagle Rare 10, those are the things that got me into this and started getting me collecting when I found out that these were hard to get and collectible, right? So I really love this juice. I'm not gonna add much to it. It's coming at 107 proof, 53.5% alcohol. You know, just the usual, distilled, aged, and bottled by Buffalo Trace. I think there's no surprises here. There's not much more than I can add that hasn't already been said. Very popular bottle. In my state, Florida, hard to get because in Florida, you could only purchase Weller products through ABC, through the ABC store. They have an exclusive contract. So this is hard to get, but in your state or in some states, I understand it's not as hard to get. So your mileage will vary, but MSRP or even secondary, it's not all that expensive for what you're getting. And like I said, I really enjoy and love this product. So I want to highlight it when I get a chance to. Shortbarrel Cigar Batch number 3. Obviously, this is the third release of this product. They have a batch 1, a batch 2, and a batch 3. I haven't tried batch 3 yet, which is the bottle I have in my hand, but I have tried batch 2. I really did like it. It was a thick, syrupy consistency, and I came to even be aware of Shortbarrel through their Sapsquatch. I love that. Okay, I'm trying to get my hands on that again. I don't have one, I'm out of it, and I really love that one a lot. So we'll see how this one goes. This one's coming at 115 proof, 57.2% alcohol by volume, and 21 gauge. A blend of Kentucky and Indiana bourbons crafted to complement the richness of a fine cigar. This unique expression features whiskeys ranging from 6 to 11 years, finished in cognac, rum, Armagnac, and tawny port casks. Each component spends an additional 1 to 3 years in its finishing barrel, adding layers of complexity and depth. The result is a bold, velvety pour with rich notes of smoky leather, candied fruit, and warm oak. What I have heard about this from my friends who have had all the batches is a lot of them say that batch 3 is the best batch. I'll hold judgment on that until I try for myself. Like I said, I did try batch 2 and I very much enjoyed it, and I had the Sapsquatch and I love that. So I can't wait to try this. Let me know in the comments, have you had this and what are your thoughts, and how do you compare this among the batches 1, 2, and 3? Four Roses Single Barrel Private Selection OBSF. So, specially selected by Brent Elliott, Master Distiller. This 9-year, 11-month-old bourbon was bottled exclusively for the Four Roses gift shops. This bourbon has a nose of vibrant baking spice and clove. Flavors of rich vanilla and candied fruit fade into a long finish of light mint and caramel. Enjoy. Four Roses recipe selected OBSF. 35% rye mash bill herbal notes, and this was bottled in March of 2021. So as you can see, I haven't opened this yet and I haven't tried it. I'm not, I don't want to say I'm not a fan of Four Roses, because I am, but it's not one of my go-to things yet. Maybe I just haven't developed my palate or just haven't been exposed to it as much. There's a lot of bourbons and I have a lot of bourbons already. So, you can't drink everything. At least, I can't drink everything yet. So I haven't really developed my palate for Four Roses yet, but I'm working on it. So if you guys have had this, let me know what you think. I don't think this is incredibly hard to get. It does have some secondary market value, but nothing crazy. Let me know your thoughts on this. And should I open this right away, or should I try some of the other things first? And Nashville Barrel Company Stella's Secret Stash 6-year. So this one, it's a barrel strength release, non-chilled filtered. Coming from this specific bottle is coming from barrel 5120, aged 6 years, distilled in Kentucky at 124.78 proof. This one, they have multiple years. I did go to a meetup and someone let me try this same bottle, or this same juice, but the 12-year version. I like that a lot. I haven't gotten around to open this yet, but I probably plan on doing so. What are your guys' thoughts on this one? Have you tried this any of the years? And what's been your opinion on it? Is this something that I should open right away? Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm new to Nashville Barrel Company. This is the only product that I have from them. I don't have anything else, but I know a lot of my local friends here, they love Nashville Barrel Company. I mean, they absolutely love it. They have all the bottles and they just, they go crazy for it. So I haven't jumped on that train yet, but I'm not unwilling to. So this one is more of a memento or a gift that I got for myself. This is just your regular Buffalo Trace, but this is the European version. So in July, I was visiting London, England, and there they have a pop-up store, actual physical pop-up store. I think it's the only one in the world, I believe, at least at the time of this video, it's the only one in the world. So I went there and I picked up this European bottle. So it's a little bit smaller than the American bottles by volume. You can see in the back, it even says for the UK market. So in Europe, several of the more production-minded or production line bottles, they'll have a special European market version, and it's slightly smaller. They'll still have all the bottles available. So for example, like the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, almost every liquor store that I went to had some of those, but those are not bottled in the smaller size. They only have those in just the regular American bottle. So those are obviously released in America and then somehow they make it over to Europe. But these are very specific to Europe. This one has like this little coin that's wrapped around with a string around the bottle's neck, and it says commemorative bottle, Buffalo Trace Distillery, London, 2025. That's part of why I picked it up, more of a for a collectible collector's reason than I actually needed this juice. This same bottle, you can get this in multiple sizes here in the States fairly easily, anytime you want. So this is more of just for the coin and the collectability and adding it to collection for me. All right, some of the next bottles are going to be barrel picks from the bourbon meetup group that I'm a part of. So this one is Old Soul. This is a product of Mississippi's oldest distillery. It's a straight bourbon whiskey. It was a selection by the Miami Bourbon Society, which is a group that I attend their meetups whenever they have them. This one's coming in at 122.67 proof, and it's from barrel number 17K30-168. I believe they've had 3 picks from Old Soul. I have 2 of them. This was the one that I was missing. One of them is widely considered better than the other. I don't remember off the top of my head which one is which, but the 2 that I already had, I have them open and I really liked it. And as soon as I run out of one of those, I'll be opening up this one. And for the price point, this is a great bourbon. Have you ever had Old Soul? Let me know what you guys think. But you can't go wrong with this. This is good juice. This is the latest pick from the Miami Bourbon Society. This is the WhistlePig 6-year. It's a small batch, 100% rye, hand bottled and pot distilled, single barrel. This one specifically from barrel 8572. And like I said, it was bottled for the Miami Bourbon Society 2025. So this came out in their June meetup is when this was distributed. So this is very popular. All of their picks always sell out as soon as they come out. And you can see it has the different little stickers from that group. So I haven't had a chance to open this, but at the meetup where this was distributed, I did try it. It's great. You know, you can't go wrong with this. You know, when they pick these, they always pick great barrels. All right, the last bottle that we're going to talk about is this Elijah Craig Private Barrel, again from the Miami Bourbon Society pick. This was an older pick, but I just recently was able to pick it up. It says here, single barrel, 1789, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Private barrel coming in at 119.3 proof. Barrel serial number 6735355, 59.65% alcohol by volume. Aged 9 years, uncut straight from the barrel, and private selection from the Miami Bourbon Society. You can see they have their sticker on the back, and the front, the bottle is the same, but it comes from them with a little label saying that it was picked for the Miami Bourbon Society. So again, this was an older pick, wasn't from this year, I don't believe. Very popular, similar to the Old Soul and the WhistlePig that we just went through. I haven't had a chance to open this yet, but it's on my list. Next time I have some kind of social event here in my home, I'll probably open this one up. What do you guys think of this bottle? Have you had it from some other group or some other store pick or barrel pick? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Alright YouTube, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for me and my review of all the bottles I picked up in the month of July 2025. There are a lot of other bottles that I picked up, but I've either already featured them in a previous review or in my shorts, so I'm not going to go through them. You know, I did pick up some Eagle Rare 10, I picked up some Jack Daniels 10-year and 12-year, but again, I've already featured those. I don't want to be repetitive. If you're drinking bourbon, then you're running out of bourbon and you got to replace. So you'll pick up the same bottles over and over again, hopefully, if you can. Not every bottle you're able to do that, but some of these, or many of them, you're going to be able to do that. So if you like this sort of content, like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. And let us know in the comments, what were your pickups in July? What are you trying to get? What's your August looking like? Let us know. Share with us, and we'll communicate that way. So on to the next one.